I mean, look at the new bills that they're trying to pass in California on abortion. It's not just inside the womb anymore. Now you can actually have the baby, and you can decide if you want that baby after birth or not. And if you decide that you don't, they will kill that baby for you. It's not that it's much better than what we have now, because now you can have a full-term pregnancy all the way up to the point of birth, and they will kill that baby inside of you. And you know how they do that? They stick a hose inside of you, and they shove it up the baby's nose, and they suck its brains out. Do we not live in a barbaric culture that kills the innocent for the sake of the guilty? Because this is the excuse they use, right? Oh, what about the women who were raped? What about them? First of all, do you know that the women who were raped and had an abortion because of that rape are less than 1% of the 65 million abortions that have happened since Roe v. Wade? Less than 1%. So what about the other 99%? There's no value for life anymore. In fact, I watched a YouTube video of this guy who went on a college campus. This was just so telling to me. Brilliant what he did. He went on a college campus and he had a petition. And he went around to people and he wanted them to sign this petition. Well, what this petition was a petition for an eagle's nest. These eagles had nested on the ground, and they didn't want people to go around this eagle's nest because they might accidentally step on the nest and step on the eggs or kill the chicks or whatever. So the petition was to put a barrier around this eagle's nest to protect its babies. And so he goes up to these two girls, college-age girls, and he says, will you guys sign this petition? And they go, oh yeah, absolutely. Sign on the line, no problem. He then proceeds to flip the page, and he said, will you sign this petition too? This is to outlaw abortion in this state. And they go, oh no, we can't sign that. Well, we can't do that. We have to have freedom of choice. And he's like, what do you mean? You would sign a petition to protect these eagles' babies, but you won't sign a petition to protect human babies. No value for human life. For everything else, for any other animal, you see people, they'll go wrap themselves around a tree to keep people from cutting it down. But when it comes to human life, no, that's a choice. Look, we all have a choice. I don't know if you know this about me. I'm pro-choice. I think everybody has a choice to what they do before they get pregnant. Because everyone can choose who they're going to have sex with. Absolutely, I'll give you that choice. But once you're pregnant, that choice is gone. It's no longer your body. Now you have somebody else's body. Your own child's body in you. We talked last week about this being one of the greatest gifts that God has given to mankind, that God has given to woman, to be able to have children. I mean, such a miracle that a little human being can grow and develop inside of you and then come out and they're just like a little mini you. A little mini me, right? Look, we have to have a greater value for life than this. I get it. I've been there. A lot of people have been in that situation and have had an abortion. It's up to those people to tell other people not to do it. Because if you've been there like I have, you understand the emotional toll that it puts on you after. Isn't this what the enemy does, right? He says, oh, it's freedom of choice. You have a choice what to do. But then after you find out that it only puts you in more bondage, into slavery for something you didn't even anticipate. Isn't this the same thing that happened to Eve in the garden? You know, Adam and Eve were in the garden, and Satan comes to Eve. Their sins were different, right? Adam, he sinned because he chose his wife over God. But Eve was deceived by Satan, by the serpent. Satan said to Eve, hey, if you eat this fruit, it'll make you wise. You will have the knowledge of good and evil. And God doesn't want you to have this because he knows that you would be like him, like God, able to know good and evil. And so she said, that seems like a good idea to me. And she ate it. But what she didn't realize is that choice now put her into a deeper slavery than she thought she was in before. And this is the same thing that the enemy does to us today. And this is the same thing that the enemy does to women. The attack on women today is, I think, so much greater than the attack on men. Because you have the opportunity to bring forth life, new life, intrinsic life of people who were made in the image of God. And so just as Satan attacked Eve in the garden, he's attacking women still today in the same way. He doesn't desire that we would do things God's way. He doesn't desire that we would bring forth children who are made in the image of God. He desires to steal, to kill, and to destroy. That's what he has always been about, and that's what he will always be about. Satan has one thing on his mind, and that's death. Even though God told Adam and Eve in the garden, if you eat of that fruit, in dying you shall surely die. Satan told them, nah, you won't die. You see, they didn't die physically, but they died spiritually. That brought on physical death too. It's the same thing happening in our world today.